This is Heather Mack and I'm for GetYourRockOut.com. I'm very happy to be interviewing Charlotte from Delain. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm really well, how are you?
Good, good. So are we. Looking forward to the UK leg of the tour with The Temptation. It's exciting.
Yeah, so we're here in Manchester and I was saying that we caught up with Martin last year at Dames of Darkness Festival. Tell us what you've been up to since May last year. Nearly a year.
Yeah, well, we've been touring last summer still, and after that tour, at the end of September, we started, working our asses off basically to get the album done and released before this tour. So yeah, the last half year was basically a lot of writing and producing the new record and yeah, getting everything together so that now we have this pretty much perfect setup. We just had the album released a few days ago and now we're on tour through Europe, so yeah, it's all very good.
So you're supporting Within Temptation, but obviously you've got your album Human Contradiction. Tell us about the writing process behind that album. Is it some parts are a little heavier and it's very I think it's a little bit different from your other albums.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why that is, because we don't make very deliberate choices like whether we're going to really change direction, because when it comes to the heaviness, actually with every album so far we've always been looking for the heaviest riffs and the biggest, fattest sound. So why it came out this time, there's some decisions that we have made that may have contributed to it, which is basically that we decided to really take matters into our own hands again, not involve any third parties until we really had to. It's
been very much a band album this time round.
Exactly.
You guys, obviously Martin did the producing as well.
Yeah, Martijn was back producing, and everybody basically had a bigger responsibility about their own parts in the music. Also within the Delain writing team, like Martijn and Guus and myself, we really also decided not to second guess too many of the ideas that came naturally within the writing room, and also we were quite pressed for time. So basically this is what happens when we get a shot at doing it,
and you want to go for it
and then go for it. And we didn't have the time, but also I think that is good. We didn't rewrite too much. It's all pretty much close to the initial ideas that we had, and so that's what happened.
How do you guys actually go about the process? Obviously you've got the three of you on the writing team. Do you do the writing and then the music comes after, or does Martin have a hand in?
Usually we write the songs, the three of us, and we start either from scratch, so we sit down and we say, okay, let's start with a riff, or okay, let's start with a hook, or okay, let's start with a piece of melody. Or some of us already had something and they play it to the rest, and then we start from that. So and then the three of us basically finish the idea until we have a basic structure of the song, where we think, okay, this is all parts are interesting, this kind of works as a song. And then we kind of open it up to everybody to take it to their own island, so to speak. So I work on the lyrics, and Martijn works on the arrangements, and the guys start rehearsing their parts and bring them in. So so we basically we write them until we have the basic structure, until we have the basic, until we think this is an interesting song and this is going to make it, and then everybody kind of works on their parts from there.
And then obviously bringing it back together.
And then we bring it back together, at one point.
It's been said that Masquerade is the slightly of the heavier, and obviously with the lyrical aspect. Is that a song that's got a special part on the album?
Well, it is the very first
it's special
song.
To me, just because it's come out, it jumped out on the album.
It is the very first song that we wrote.
Right.
For this record, it was the very first one that was finished, where we thought, like, this is probably going to make it onto the next album. We performed it at a special gig that we had in November in Holland, which was called My Masquerade, and the responses were very positive. So we thought it definitely needed a place on the album.
Definitely.
Yeah, does it have a special place? The thing is, we've had a lot of records with really title tracks before this. But I do think that with this one, more than ever, is kind of there's kind of a red thread running through, and then there is kind of the overarching concept of the human contradiction. That's kind of that kind of ties it together. But it's not like there is one song so much that ties it all together, but it's more
of the thread.
Yeah.
You were saying that the the title has been based on your favourite set of trilogies, the Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith's Fruit. Yeah.
How did that come about for the title?
Well, I remember back when I had to actually read the first book of the trilogy for my studies, and I read it, and I read how they explained the human contradiction as a concept, and it just stuck in my mind. And I thought this is it's quite brilliant, because it's quite the way that Octavia E. Butler, the writer, the way that she explained it is very poetic. The idea is very functional in the work of fiction that she wrote, but it's also very much reflecting on a certain reality, which I thought was really interesting. So basically I just had it in the back of my mind for a very long time. Cool. And at the point where, because we were doing things at such high speed for this record, and I kind of had to think about the album title even before all the songs were properly finished. Right. So I really had to look at, okay, we've got this set of songs, I've got these lyrics, and I noticed kind of that these topics of otherness, even within these lyrics, which were not completely finished yet, I just noticed that it was here and there. Coming through. So I thought this is just this will definitely work as an overarching concept, and so that's why I shamelessly stole it from the books.
Well, if it's your favourite book, you know.
I actually brought the trilogy on tour with me again, since it's been like a year or 2 years since I've read it, and now I'm getting a lot of questions about it, so I feel like I have to read up on it again. And it's a lovely book, so I don't mind reading it twice or 3 times or 4 times. You know, it's.
Do you get much time to read and relax while you're on tour? Because I was looking at your schedule; it's quite a hectic, busy schedule over the next.
It is, but fortunately, I don't sleep on tour buses. So I try to use, when I cannot sleep, I read. So then at least you can kind of relax.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You struggle to sleep then?
Yeah. When the bus is driving, I cannot sleep. When we arrive at the venue and you should actually be doing things, then I fall asleep. This is kind of how it works usually. And then I have 1 hour of sleep, and then I wake up, and then I'm late for everything. So.
I don't know how you manage to perform on stage then with so little sleep. It's amazing performances.
You kind of get to save your energy the rest of the day. I mean, putting up fake eyelashes is not so much energy draining, so you can kind of save up for that moment.
So, as a genre, the band generally comes under the overarching of symphonic metal. Mm-hmm. Is that something that, as a band, you kind of aimed for, wanted to be in, or is it something that's at the back of your mind when you're writing? Is it just other people putting labels on things?
I do think that is probably the label, that if I'd have to label what we're doing now, then I would probably give it that label. But I am never so much concerned by
staying within that.
Exactly, or by I never think like, oh, today I'm going to write a symphonic metal song. I just think, you just have a flash of inspiration or whatever, and during the process, and within the production, it kind of gets molded into the eventual product. But especially the way that I usually write, because I don't play guitar or whatever. So usually when I have an idea, it's just a melody line with lyrics, and sometimes if I'm lucky, then there are some chords.
Yeah.
But just chords on the piano, and I don't know if something so bare even fits within a genre.
The rest of the band comes in.
Yeah, basically everything sounds like singer-songwriter stuff until the guitars come in. So. Yeah. Oh, actually, we had in our previous record, "We Are the Others." We worked with Swedish producers, and back then we were because now the writing team, we work together a lot.
Yeah.
Back then we kind of worked on separate islands for a little bit longer, so it took longer until the ideas come together.
Yeah.
And at one point he said he listened to one of those songs that kind of came together quite late, and he said, "This just sounds like a singer-songwriter being raped by a metalhead." So this is, I think it works better. Like the sooner we come together, the more it sounds as a combined, you know, one identity. Yeah.
So you played classical and you've done big bands when you were younger. What made you go then move on into the singing?
I've always enjoyed playing, but I played the clarinet.
Classical.
No, I always.
I played the recorder. So
that's cool. That's cool. No, I always enjoyed singing, and I think that when I was like 12, 13, and when I went to high school, I actually always rather wanted to be the one in front of the band who was singing than playing the clarinet. Also, I just was not very good at playing the clarinet. This is something that should be noted.
Okay.
But I mean, it's very handy because of course you kind of learn how music works when you learn to play an instrument. And even now, I mean, I cannot play the piano, but I know how chords work, and I can kind of figure out what. So this is very convenient as far as songwriting goes. But they're making a lot of noise, huh? But
you're liking that.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess when I went to high school, I just became more interested in singing. Yeah, and I continued clarinet.
Good at it. And
Thank
you. Weren't enjoying playing the clarinet.
No, I actually was enjoying playing the clarinet, but I just wanted to sing. I rather sing, and actually I continued playing the clarinet. I was in the big band. I was always playing the clarinet, and then there were a few songs that I was singing, and I would just put it aside and I would sing, and then I would go back and play the clarinet. And the same goes for the classical orchestra. There was one time where we did some pop songs with the orchestra, and then I would just run to the front and sing a song, and then run back and play the clarinet. So.
Oh, okay. So you've done a cruise ship, Brazil, Japan, all over Europe, a lot of America. Is there anywhere that you haven't played that you really want to go to? Or anywhere that you haven't played? Trying to find somewhere.
Yeah. Well, of
or
course.
anywhere you'd really like to go back to?
Well, I'd really like to go back to Japan because this was quite interesting. It was just a very interesting country to be also just as a tourist.
Just going to Japan.
Yeah. And yeah, I would like to go. I would like to go to a lot of places. I know there's a lot of places in South America that we haven't been yet, and I know that we've got a lot of. You know, if I just look at our Facebook statistics, that I know that we got a lot of followers from South America, from places where we haven't been yet.
Yeah.
So it would be really nice to do like a more extensive tour there, but it's always harder to get these tours together financially because it's you know the network is kind of easier here.
Yeah, being a smaller place.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to get around. But no, actually, I mean, we're going for world domination after all, so I would like to go everywhere. But I think those are the first that come to mind. Yeah.
Congratulations! You've got Bang Your Head Festival in Germany. You've announced that I'm one of the only obviously female fronted bands on there. And can we expect some more festival news over the next couple of weeks?
I think there are still a couple of unannounced festivals. There are also some unannounced tours coming up. So actually, we've got a crazy schedule until somewhere halfway 2015. I think we can breathe again. So. This is
yeah, I think, have you got a week coming up over Easter where you've got a little bit of time off, or are you just solid booked now?
We got some time here and there. Actually, I'm probably booking my holidays. I've got 2 weeks off somewhere, and I probably
a whole 2 weeks at the same time.
A whole 2 weeks, yeah. But we really had to try to block these, and actually we blocked them somewhere else, but then there was another festival. Oh, I won't bore you with this story. But to answer your question, yes, I think I have a holiday somewhere.
Yay. What do you like to do on your holiday? Is it more of a relaxing or an action-packed?
Action-packed.
Action-packed.
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably going to hike somewhere.
Sounds good. Well, we wish you luck with your world domination. And,
thank you.
Especially seeing you later tonight on stage at Manchester. And thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.